That investigation is now complete. The central findings of the investigation are that the man whose voice is heard on the recording and on a second recording from the same conversation that was released on Sunday, accordingly, effective immediately, I'm banning
with immediate effect. It only required that. One sentence and Brittney Griner, one of the WNBA's most well-known names, is gone. Not fined, not suspended, permanently prohibited. In the most incendiary press conference we've witnessed in years, Adam Silver dropped the mic. Fans are also wondering, what the hell happened?
Did
games with Griner rigs? Was she manipulating the referees? Is this something more profound? Something you shouldn't know, according to the league? Because it becomes more messy the more you dig. Scandal, audio leaks, secret testimonies, even whispers about her identity. You had better fasten your seatbelt. We're dissecting everything. Now let's begin by discussing how this whole thing blew up. Adam Silver simply drops a bomb when he enters an emergency press conference. Brittney Griner is permanently barred from the WNBA as of right now. There is no warm-up or build-up, just direct fire. The sound of the jaws hitting the ground was audible. Griner was more than a performer. For many years, she served as the league's face. She has achieved international recognition, Olympic gold medals, and All-Star games. And now she's erased. Silver wasn't having any fun, though. He claimed that the league carried out a thorough internal inquiry and that the results were too significant to overlook. Numerous rule infractions, off-court controversy, and worse, potential involvement in a major corruption scandal. There is no place in basketball for activities that jeopardize the integrity of the game, he stated. Who? What precisely did they discover? What went so badly that Silver was forced to impose the most severe penalty? Let's examine it. Because it was a mountain of warning signs that ultimately came to an end rather than a single error. Let's keep in mind who we are discussing before we dissect everything. Brittney Griner played in the WNBA. Fans loved her for her ability to slam and block shots. A walking billboard for women's basketball and a two-time Olympic winner. She would host camps, appear in Nike advertisements, and represent Team USA. She was all over the place.
She's out now.
No notice, no farewell tour, just blacklisted. How, therefore, do you go from being the league's poster child to being cut off entirely? It turns out that her recent actions weren't the only reason for this. For a while, there were rumors circulating. Drama in the locker room, issues with teammates, and tales of her fighting with referees. After that, things began to pile up. Skipping team procedures, acting suspiciously off the court, and all of a sudden, the league's members weren't as silent. However, the league disregarded it for some time.
Why?
Because Griner attracted attention. She continued to sell tickets until the headlines became too loud, at which point Silver decided it was time to end the relationship. The league abruptly stopped supporting one of its brightest talents. Crazy, huh? However, we have only just begun. This is where things start to get extremely messy. This is more than just a dramatic tale. This is a major controversy involving corruption. League insiders claim that Griner was involved in attempts to interfere with real games. Yes, manipulating referees, manipulating matchups, and switching momentum when it counted most.
How?
It seems that she had more influence behind the scenes than we initially believed. The rumors that she was speaking to the referees or altering the atmosphere in the locker room were only the beginning. However, warning signs began to appear when playoff races were close and games began to appear a bit too staged. When Silver brought in investigators, everything fell apart. Executives were sacked, officials were suspended, and Brittney's name was allegedly everywhere. Emails, recordings, and texts. This was more than just ego or attitude. This had to do with managing results. When you interfere with the competition, you interfere with the entire league. And Silver wasn't about to let that slide. Do you believe a player should ever have so much power? Because everything we believe to be true about WNBA integrity is altered if even half of this is accurate. This is a significant question, then. Where in the world was the commissioner if all of this was happening? I thought Kathy Angelbert was supposed to maintain the league's cleanliness. Rather, she is right in the heart of this mess. Insiders claim that Angelbert was aware of the drama long before Silver intervened. Players sent emails, issued warnings, and voiced silent grievances. What action did she take? Nothing, apparently. Some say she sought to protect the WNBA's image. Some claim that she simply didn't want to face Griner. In any case, her silence exacerbated the situation. She is currently being reviewed internally. Her resignation is being demanded by her supporters. Additionally, Silver's team has assumed control of the disciplinary procedure. It got that terrible. There is more than one player involved. This controversy exposed a system that permitted such things to proliferate unchecked. What happens if the commissioner puts public relations ahead of responsibility? You understand this. You end up with anarchy. The league is currently attempting to tidy up a mess that it contributed to. If it weren't for a few courageous guys who said enough is enough, this entire situation may have remained under wraps. Names began to appear. Big names. Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark. They are not role players. These are the league's future leaders. They allegedly testified behind closed doors to league investigators, and what they said was alarming. They discussed games in which the referees appeared to be acting strangely. Griner's team received dubious advantages, and calls abruptly gained momentum. They had receipts, so it wasn't just vibes. There are rumors that during the meetings, audio clips were played by league officials. Griner was allegedly discussing pressure spots and matchups with referees. Do you understand what that means? She wasn't merely using foul language. Off the court, she was planning. Additionally, the league was unable to defend her once Clark and others began pointing fingers. That's what made Silver take action. Now consider if Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark would have remained silent. Would this prohibition have ever taken place? Or would the league continue to fill in for its star? The most terrifying aspect of it all is that you actually expected she'd stay quiet? Not a possibility. Griner's crew got to work as soon as they learned about the prohibition. We're talking full-fledged defense mode, media contacts, PR representatives, and attorneys. Insiders claim that her attorneys are actively preparing an appeal. They describe this action as excessive, politically driven, and unreasonable. They're even seeking complete access to all investigation records, including the hidden recordings, and threatening to take it to court. This is the wild part. They're arguing Griner is being used as a distraction, that the league is panicked because of deeper scandals, and Griner suddenly became the sacrifice. According to her camp, she was singled out for being vocal, questioning league leadership, and having too much influence in the locker room. One thing is evident whether or not that is the case. There won't be a news conference to conclude this. It is on the verge of a public conflict. Additionally, a lot more dirt might come out if it goes to court. We must thus inquire as to whether Griner is being set up to shield more well-known figures. Or is this the final deed of someone who is ultimately apprehended? And the gender bombshell arrives just when you thought things couldn't be any more bizarre. It is indeed uncomfortable. Yes, it is contentious. However, it is currently ubiquitous. After years of peaceful circulation, rumors abruptly erupted. Is Brittney Griner a man by birth? Listen, we're not here to play doctor, but according to sources, the WNBA may have known about it and kept it a secret based on paperwork, medical records, and league memoranda.
Why?
Since the WNBA's brand was Griner, she made a dunk. She was in charge. She was a ticket seller. And the league might have fallen apart if that story had ever broken. However, everything is now coming to light with her band. According to some insiders, there is more to this than just game rigging. It has to do with concealing something more significant. If the league did cover it up, that's a severe violation of competitive fairness, possibly even Title IX. So, is integrity the goal of the prohibition, or is it to prevent secrets from blowing up in public? The whole truth is yet unknown to us. However, just this question has already made supporters, athletes, and even sponsors hesitant. Let's take a closer look. There is no longer simply one player involved. This is about a league on the edge. Sponsors are in a panic. TV networks are reassessing agreements. Fans no longer know who or what to believe. Because you lose control of the story when your biggest star is banned for corruption and suspicions about secret gender identities start to circulate. And the WNBA is experiencing precisely that. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, two rookies, arrived with enthusiasm and optimism. However, they are currently trapped in a league that resembles a soap drama more than a sport. What about potential talent in the future? You think parents want to send their girls into this chaos? Not a possibility. Here we are, then. The league is in disarray. Legends are prohibited. In actuality, it still seems like we're just getting a portion of the picture. For the WNBA, this was expected to be a golden age. Instead of crowded venues, new fans, and emerging stars, we got anarchy, corruption, and cover-ups. Now the whole basketball world is watching. What is Adam Silver going to do next? Will more players be made public? Will Brittney Griner retaliate and reveal all the league has been concealing? What about the players that were left behind? If they speak up, will they be protected from reprisals? This story isn't finished, that much is certain. So, we'll keep asking the questions they won't. And we want to hear from you. Was the prohibition warranted? Is the league being truthful? Or is this merely a larger cover-up that broke down at last? Leave a comment with your ideas. Additionally, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell if you want the truth rather than the PR spin.